Hey everyone, morning, good afternoon, evening, wherever you are, if you're on that side of the world. Yeah, it's been exciting. I see dynamics here already. Once I saw you coming, I was like, I gotta go live. I saw Jared with a bunch of messages earlier. Unfortunately, I didn't get a chance to respond to those as yet. I will get through a lot, some of that. Things are hotting up. I was up, watching, and then I had to try to get ready and made myself some coffee and all that kind of stuff. But it is fascinating their dynamics. Hudson Smith only struggled. But I don't know what Jakari was doing. 43-9 in the opening round. I guess I can ask the same question for our good friend Nasa in her heat. And we know she likes to run fast, but she was also flying too. We got to unpack a lot of that stuff. But I was uh shocked by that. The the discuss is going on. There's so much for us to unpack. We Antonio Watson obviously we didn't go through, but look at the Jamaican Bovell McPherson there doing something interesting. Karan James had to work a bit, but he got through as well. His experience pulled through. Sandra Elksovich here, or Perkovic, we used to know her from, Olympic champion and multiple world champion here, is trying to stay in this competition to see if she can land a medal. Ooh, I think she's short of that, so she won't. But there was just a big throw there just now from Valerie Almond to put her into a really good position. Yeah. There's so many things to unpack. We'll unpack them in a second. Let's see what else Dynamics was saying. Women's 400, NASA 49.1, in Sydney 49.4. Oh, I thought Sydney looked well. She ran it professional. Big PB there, as you mentioned, too, for Stacey and Williams, too, to stick in that race. You have to like that. I think she was really chuffed. I also like Hi, Margaret. I really enjoyed the Nikisha Price run too. I thought it was a professional run, and there's more there. She did look a bit winded at the end, but nothing to complain about if we're being honest. Uh, Oakley, there's a bunch of women there. The Americans are looking really easy too. Paulino is Paulino. So I don't know. Amber Anning, there's some interesting stuff. Margaret says, please give it a like. It boosts it. I appreciate that as well. I think Jared was here earlier. He was saying 47.8 for that's ridiculous, sorry. Jared, but Sydney looked good. Yeah. I'm looking at his discus final here. Morales is there right now. She had a big throw just earlier to get into that personal best there. She had a 67.25 to put her into medal position. And that's not going to do it. So she's going to stay in the bronze place. So it's Van Klinken here who is good. She had 67.50 in the second round, and that won't be good enough. This attempt won't be good enough. So it's going to be Alman, Van Klinken, and Morales there on the medal podium for the women's discus. I'll just get that on the screen. So they're just showing again the Van Klinken thing attempt here. Wasn't good enough. I can't explain what's happening with World Athletics, Jared. I'm also upset about their entire rebranding of the website just in time for the championships. It's clunky to me. I'm also mostly unimpressed by the lack of quality data for race fans. or track fans, you're not seeing the live results in the way maybe they're pushing it in another a setting, but we're definitely not seeing this. But we're all waiting, and we can unpack like the 400 and all the stuff we missed earlier. But we're waiting for some. I think most of us are here. I like Lika Klava, as I mentioned today. We can run through that, but we're looking forward for some. It's great to see Val Alman. I'm sorry, I'm just like cutting through, but we are waiting for what can only be described as the hottest things in track and field, the 100 meters. That will be coming up relatively soon. But I can just run through a couple of the results here. As you saw, Lika Klava running well, Bella Whitaker to work, but I think and Dejane Oakley stepping up there too to make sure she got that automatic spot. I like Lika, as you know, been running a lot. She ran 2 legs on the women's on the mixed rather 4x4 for the Dutch. I don't think I think Lika will struggle to get into the final, but you never know. Uh, uh, Van Loo there, that former U.S. athlete, now going switching our allegiance, going back to Haiti. Big national record there ahead of Bukoveka, who is Kazmarek, and then Aliyah Butler. But we're on the track now for the women's 100 meters. So there's a shot there from Marie-Josée Talou. There's Takas, there's White, Daryl Nita, Shakari Richardson, the defending champion, Sharika Jackson, Cora, and Alonzo. The women are on the track. Let's see what we get here. This is going to be a tough semifinal. Takas, White, Talou, Smith. White didn't look particularly good in her first opening round, but all of that could change right now. Oh! I think Darren Nita is gone. And she's like, it's not me, it's not me. If it's not her, it has to be somebody right beside her. The printout is right away. Oh, it was Shakari. It was Shakari that did the bump, and then Darren Nita went because of that. Yeah, Shakari made a move, but I think yeah, everybody went out on. It's gonna be a green card on this then. Yeah. Yeah, green card for sure. Thunder, what's going on? Yeah. Yeah, I think Shakira's head went up and then that a bit late or a bit early. I have to look at it again. And then that caused Darren Nita to leave the blocks and a bunch of people reacting before the gun. Hey, of course, this was purely coincidental, I think, but if you're not a great starter, this is how you want to set up the field, right? It's a clean start now. Shikari in the back. Sharika Jackson has to do a lot of work. She's struggling. Talu Smith is doing it, but Sharika Jackson's coming back in. It's going to be Talu Smith ahead of Jackson. Then I think it might be Richardson or Nita. It might be Richardson. So 1094 for Talu Smith, 1097 for Jackson. And I think it's Richardson ahead of Nita. Where, or is it White? I just see they're moving around these things here. We're waiting to see the official. How is White? Let's see. Where's White? Because they have her on third right now, but that could be wrong. Yeah, Shakari didn't get a good start at all there. Looks like she almost fell a little bit. Oh yeah, it is Shakari. I mean, it definitely is a mistake there from the yeah. Yeah, yeah. Telu, Jacko, and Shakari, yeah, for sure. Sophisticated one. What's going on? Yeah. No problem, Jared. Yeah. Hmm. Give me a second there. I don't know what they're doing with this result stuff. I don't know what to make of that too. I think Talu ran within herself. Sharika just looks nonchalant, as if she's just waiting for the final. It's not particularly the smoothest run you'd anticipate from Sharika either. It's just too she's running what looks comfortable to me, but also I don't really know. Let me just put this on the screen quickly. So that was the official results there. Talu Smith 1094, 1097 for Jackson, 11 flat for Richardson, Nita 1106. And Kayla White's form continues to go in the wrong direction, especially after that run at the USA National Championships. Alonso from the Dominican Republic coming in fifth. So we're going to wait for heat number 2, which features Charlton, Hobbs, Alfred, the GOAT, Shelley and Fraser Price, TT Terry, Amy Hunt, Eva Saboda, and Fry rather, from Switzerland. What's going on? Good morning, good evening. Same to you there, Nevada. How are you gonna see Shikara going 10-7? How? That's not in the legs there, I don't think. Jared. Yeah, it is kind of an interesting thing, Thunder, with Jacko. She's just running like I have a lot left, but it's it's not the same Jackson that we know. Maybe because it's not backed by a season full of fast running. We know it's been a challenge for her to get back to this stage, and but it's good that she's back here, and let's see what she can do. So TT Terry on screen. That's the I was thinking about that last night. I'm gonna go with Alfred. Obviously, Alfred is gonna go through easily. I'm hoping Sharika Fraser Price can find a way, but it could be Amy Hunt if she gets a better start. It could also be Zoe Hobbs. Terry hasn't been giving you the kind of confidence, but it could be her too. But I think there's something a determination for Fraser Price to make this final. So I'm gonna go with Alfred and then Fraser Price. But this should be like a cakewalk. Cavinger says Jackson not doing well. You know, she's come back, but it's not the same Sharika Jackson. I don't think we should expect the Sharika Jackson of a couple of years ago in any of the events. I mean, she did run fairly okay at the Jamaican National Championships, but it's not the kind of levels that you want. It's a clean start now. It's one of the better starts for Fraser Price, but it's not the real best here. But she's going there with Julian Alfred, and Fraser Price is trying to make sure that she makes that final, and she will make that final, easing down to Alfred. Easy here. Easy for Julian Alfred. Let me tell you, the GOAT finds a way to be in the final. No questions asked there. Amy Hunt chasing. I got to be honest with you, man. You just got to love Nita's gone now. Amy Hunt has a better time. Yes, yeah, got it. I think the entire world was waiting on Fraser Price to be in that final. You just wanted her to leave on her terms, and that's gonna happen. Alfred, smooth as you like. That was like just a morning stroll for her. Got out really nice. It's one of the better starts here for Fraser Price, not that we've seen since this year. Look at Alfred there. She's just trying to hold back. The arms stop running, stop working. Even Fraser Price herself started to ease down. Look at this. So Jared says such a legend will be missed. Yeah, I put it this way. We've been blessed to see a career that really took off in '08, but started in 2007 in Osaka and that relay, opening round on that relay, into something that we no one recognize. I've said it. She's the kind of athlete that makes you redefine what greatness looks like. She continues to reinvent herself. She's such a wonderful woman on and off the track, and we will miss her, but we shouldn't think about the miss. We should just think about those great nights, those great performances that she's delivered, and the inspiration for a generation across the world. And a killer, and I say that in the nicest of terms, but if you can do it that way, but one is kind of a smiling assassin. Well, for most of it, she'll take your lunch money, and for her to be here still and getting into a major championship final, we we can't underscore how insane that is. She should not be doing this. The sport says you're not supposed to be competing at this level. So to be here, to do this, to make a final, you got to be kidding how good this is. Anyway, enough of my superlatives there. Let me see if I missed anything. Sophisticated said, I'm just proud of Talu and Jackson. Sad for Nita. Yeah, good. Good for Kari getting season best. Yeah, she's trending in the direction. Probably not as good as she would have wanted to be. Jared, an amazing woman. LOL. I think I did that sophisticated one already. I don't know what that means. Sophisticated. Yes, yeah. Shelly stole her marbles again. You remember? Yeah, you definitely remember that one. Yeah, I did. I just think like you don't want to go into any competition with Shelly and Fraser Price. She'll just yeah, and it's she. May her continue to show up at sports days for years to come. Uh, yeah, Shelly's the goat. Sophisticated, so proud of Shelly. Defied all the odds. Yeah, we would not. We can't imagine the level of this. Well, we've seen it unfold, but it's not something that we would have sat down and say, "How can it happen?" Coming back after giving birth, knocking off a couple more world titles. Are you joking? Already the oldest to win a world championship, then do it again. It it it, it we have to distill that. But anyway, Dina Asher Smith there, Gina Luckham, Kemper Davis there, Tia Clayton, a woman I think should be on the medal podium. My call is still those three: Clayton, Alfred, and Jefferson Wooden. Jefferson Wooden there as well. I expect Wooden and Clayton to get through this. This might be the fastest of the lot too, considering what is at stake. Asher Smith should be in the mix. You have to like her too. Lewis also from Australia there, and Audrey Leduc, the Canadian, I believe, national champion and record holder this year. So let's see what we get. When Shelly won her first title, I'm just oh, welcome, hey, welcome. There's always a process there. Yeah. Production is here. I didn't realize. What's going on? See, St. Lucia is just proud of Juju. No, national hero. National hero, no question about it. To to be brief, let's take a look at this race right now. Uh, and obviously, we'll unpack all the stuff that happened this morning. But I like how the women are running within themselves. I thought Juju, what she did was she shut it down as early. It's a clean start. It's a good start here. Melissa Jefferson Wooden. Also, Tina Clayton are getting out there. Asher Smith in the mix. But it looks like it's gonna be a jog fest between Tina Clayton and Wooden. Oh my God. That can't be right. Is that right? 1073? Uh, you can't be serious. I'm stunned, guys. I don't think I've seen a 1073 look that easy. Because Clayton got out and Clayton got out well, and she kind of cut. She started to run within herself too to take it easy. Jefferson wouldn't continue on. Let's look at this one more. Clayton got out well. So did Melissa Jefferson. Her head still down. Clayton is already up right there. She's now getting into top end, and she's easing back. It looked that way, but look at that. She's still working, and then she struck down about 10ish, 8 to 10ish meters out. That is too fast. What is going on here? Ooh, Jared says, "Dang it." I was going to say, excuse me, to say 10-7, but I decided not to. 10-7 in a semifinal is outrageous. Absolutely nuts. Average Joe MJW is going 10-5 tonight. It looks that way. The men are on the track. Noah Lyle's there. I think Akani Simbini right beside him. Yeah. Chris, I don't know. I can't put that up. Uh, I have no evidence of that. We just have to. Yeah, that's harsh and actually unfounded right now. Let's see what we get from Chuck for all says Tina has 10-7 those. I think so too. We going into this, I think Tina would get to 10-7. There's a lot of indications for that. I like how she got out and backed off. It didn't push it, but then the back off doesn't look so good when the other woman is just flying. But it's a semifinal. It's not a thing here. Common Sense 959, 1959 says Jackson. Okay, there is no medal for for the semis. No, there's nothing being handed out at the moment for sure. We I agree on that. It's gonna take a lot more explosiveness for me, and that's the thing that we haven't necessarily seen from Sharika since she's returned. She's lacked that explosive power that we're become used to, especially when she ran those 21-4s, when she did that 10-6. It's not quite there. I'm hoping it comes back tonight. That would put her in the mix for the bronze medal for sure. But I'm not seeing any way, any route for anyone other than Wooden and Alfred for the top two spots. Nothing has changed my mind yet, except that if you can run 1073 right now, ooh, championship record on certainly on the threat right now. All in the game is here. I think I missed a couple. Let me get back up. Yeah, Gambit, what's going on? Melissa might break the world record at this rate. World record? Nah, I can't see that. If that were to happen, then we might have to have a conversation with Chris too. I don't know. I can't see that. Lyles 985. Remember how Bolt jogged 985 in 2008? Yeah, but the man was in 9.5 shape. Do you really think that this guy is in 9.5 shape? All in the game was saying how Shakari did not DQ for a false start. That's a very good question because she clearly jerked. I wonder if it's because there's like 6 women or so going before the gun, and the judges didn't want to spend time adjudicating who started all of that. Certainly, you can't get rid of all of those women for reaction time false start, but she certainly was the one that caused Nita, caused Jackson, and whoever else that got the that came out before point one. That's a good question. I don't know. Common says Melissa is going to be tested frequently by water in Europe. Yeah, I think they're already in a high level panel pool already. I don't necessarily, I'm not worried about that, to be honest with you. And perhaps their auto competition testing might be a bit more stringent than others, but it doesn't necessarily have to be either. Yeah. Ravinda says, I feel Tina will get second and Juju third. I, I can't see that right now, but let's see. Trevor Sharika's body language and confidence restraint through the round. There is a certain level of that. It's bordering on like I'm still asleep, but we'll see. Michelle says, "Don't count out Richardson. Remember what happened at last Worlds." Yeah, I guess the way out in the lane, she was out in, uh, on the outside lane. Yeah, Shakari's making moves, but I don't think she's in the kind of shape. I think she was in like 10-6 shape at that time. I'm not quite sure she's in 10-8 shape here either. I don't believe that's the case. And it's gonna take more than that for me. Jared says no in 9-7 low shape. I don't know. Marlon, how you doing? Tina or Sharika going to win gold? You can always hope, but that's not happening. Uh uh Malachi says Melissa didn't jog. Tina forced her to catch up, probably ran too fast. She did run, she was moving in the end for sure, but we know she's delivered that back to back as well. So I can't really necessarily find any fault with that kind of run. We saw what happened at the US National Championships too. She has good round experience there too. She's an experienced athlete too. She's been at the highest level. So yeah, that may be true, but it's not a I don't think it's a worrying concern for them. Sherika better take her eye off Kerry in the final. Remember what happened. No, oh, not take her eye. No, I think you need blinders when you're running here. There's a lot of stuff coming through. Appreciate everybody. They see Noah. They're just focusing on Noah Lyles here. I wonder if it's an American camera as opposed to the world feed. I don't know what you guys are seeing on the world feed right now, but all we're seeing is Noah Lyles and nobody else. Yeah, that is coming up next. Marcel Jacobs there found his way into the semifinal. Olympic champion from 2021. Struggled for a while, kind of came back last year. Was it last year or the year before? The Canadian athlete there, Ajibi, Akeem Blake, who needs a lot of work in the second phase of his race. He has to work as hard as he can to get into this final. This needs to be the race of his life. Progress for me with Akeem Blake would be getting into the final. I'm not sure it's going to happen. I don't suspect it will, but hopefully proves us wrong. There's Lyles, the defending champion. Akani Simbini, been around for such a long time. Ajay, they're running a big run in the opening round. Azu, world indoor champion. The Great Brit finally going sub 10 as well this season. And the Netherlands athlete here, Afrifa. Yeah, so they're about to get in the block soon. Let me try to run through some of these comments, and I appreciate everybody. I love the community. It's, imagine, I never thought there would be a bunch of people who are always watching track and looking for other people to talk to while it's going on. I always struggled for that, and this is why I like the watch alongs. False track for us at false start 0.00. All right, they're in the blocks right now. Let me just take a look and I'll get back to this. All in the game says Tina and Talu still best bet for bronze. That's where I am too. I'm thinking Tina for sure for bronze. It's a clean start. Akeem Blake gets up really well. Akani Sembini, Noah Lyles is left behind, but he's coming. Akeem Blake is out of it. Lyles is going to take this ahead of the Nigerian and Akani Sembini. 992, the defending champion, finds his way back into this. I still having on the podium Ajay, the Nigerian athlete there, ecstatic. 993 for him. Simbini 996. Azul looks like, well, we don't know. I have to wait to see the rest of that. I think if you are the other athletes, and I'm talking to Oblique Seville, I'm talking to Kishane Thompson. Make sure this Kenny Benaric too. I think Noah lives rent free in his head. You better be careful. Yeah, Lyles got left back, but not significant that he couldn't get back into it. Akeem Blake there just doesn't have any power, and I've been asking this question all season. I know it's come to where I've gotten the answer I fully needed. This Nigerian guy's flying. Akana Simbini trying to be there, but just doesn't have enough. All right, let's go. I go from the recent one. What's wrong with Noah's acceleration? I don't know if there's anything wrong with it. I think he has to execute better out of the blocks, but we'll see. Uh, Season best for. I agree. I've privately talked to him about that. I just don't think uh Akeem Blake had anything to it. Long jump final here. Tara Davis Woodall going down. Whoa, that is massive. Absolute massive. That looks like it might be 7-10-ish from the naked eye. I'm probably wrong at guessing these things. 708. Well, I'm not wrong. I'm not too far off there. That's the way you want to open up. No, yeah, and then I started to look at. I think I had pull up some of his races where I had data, and I just look. He's just once Blake hits top end, he doesn't maintain anything. Absolutely nothing. He's always like dropping off immediately. So there's a lot of work to be done there. Yeah. Dynamics Ajay, he's no fluke here. No, we saw him pop up this year, and I wasn't sure, but he's definitely in the mix. Akeem Blake executed terribly according to Dynamics. I just don't think he has the ability to maintain. I don't know what's going on there. That was close for average Joe. Must have been a misstep, Jared said. SB for Jacobs in 6 can't ask for more from Thunder. Yeah, he's been struggling a lot with injury. We'll see. Ajay, though, he ran now through the line. Virginia says Shelly or Tina getting third. Yeah. Tina for me. Shelly, I don't know. I can't see. I think it's gonna require 10. It's gonna require sub 10-8 for third. And I'm not seeing any of these athletes outside of Clayton going there. I think Talu could. I think she's capable. Will she run the race in the final? We'll have to wait and see. Uh, but yeah, all in the game saying the Brits knocked. Yeah, the Brits Nita knocked out Hunt and Dina, then then Dina knocked out Hunt. Yeah, here's the thing. They just got to go back and rack up a good relay. Yeah. Also, this season, Daryl just didn't get to the heights that I was anticipating. She would be disappointed with the season. I'm sure they'll explain this out. Are you saying Bolt on American TV right now? Let me see if I can. Well, I missed all of that. I don't know what he was saying. Timetable down again from Jared. All in the game. Shakari was in 10-7 low shape back in 2023, which is not the case in 2025. Disappointing that the 9-lane finals World Athletics made a big deal aren't happening. I agree with you because they said that, and I don't know what's going on. Yeah. All right. So currently, the introductions are going on. Longo, Amanyala, Bedner. I don't know how much longer Amanyala will stay in the sport. He may go back. Will he go back to rugby? I don't know. Kung Fu Kenny, Bedner right there. Kishane Thompson, Olympic silver medalist. A man that is on a mission. I anticipate to reach the mountaintop. Hughes, Blake, Jones, Bassoon, who I was saying I hadn't seen for a minute, but who knows? Yeah, crashes ever go. That's true. It always crashes. And I'm like, why can't you buy a better server space? Or during the period of our champion, I think I sent them an email about this a couple of years ago. I'm like, during the the major championships, can't you just spend a little extra money so maybe hits to the server doesn't to the site is not as high during most parts of the year, but you get to the Olympic Games or the World Championships, stop mucking around. Anyway, let's get to this race. Appreciate those who have liked the video. It's a clean start there. Kung Fu Kenny looks good, but also Kishane Thompson, and he's going side by side with Kung Fu Kenny, and they're looking side by side. Oh my God, 985. Ooh, don't don't fall there, Thompson. So those two carried each other comfortably through. They were just like checking each other. Kenny's in shape. So it's officially to Bednarak 985 on the screen. 985 also for Kishane Thompson. So the same time, there's nothing to separate those two. I thought they were just running within themselves. 985 is pretty quick. You just don't want to run that time. Let's see what Blake's run, what the time for Blake. You've been saying this all in the game, and I agree with you. Zarnell, addition to, here's the problem I have with that too. Like, why? I just don't understand why for all these years on one of the very best, he's just not managed to fix that first phase of the race. It's inconsistent. When he does give you one or two of them, it's beautiful, and he runs quick times. But outside of that, you don't know. So we're just waiting here for the separation between Blake, Hughes, Amaniala, and the rest. It hasn't come up yet. Simbini has a 996. Azuz at a 1005. He's gone. 1003 for Hughes in third position. So he's sitting there waiting. And so one Brit has taken out another. And if there's ever a nation that conquers its own self, it seems as if it's Team GB at the moment. I shouldn't have said that, but sometimes I don't think before I speak. Dynamic says, Kishane, let's look at this again. Kung Fu Kenny looks good there. I also think Kishane Thompson, he went ahead a little bit, but Kung Fu wanted to win this. So there's nothing here. Ooh, I don't like this camera work guy right there. Thompson could have hurt himself right there. I think that's a little bit too close for comfort, especially when they know that the athletes sometimes curve around. Oblique civil on the track. Noah, Kavinja says that now I think Noah is done. On paper, he should be, but you never know. That's why he's Noah too. He's really, really a tough competitor. He knows how to bring it when it matters most. All in the game, Brits, Zarnhill knocked out each other again. Yeah, exactly. I was just saying that. Did I miss any comments? If I miss any of your comments, guys, I will just do them again, or as my producer like to say, super chats and make you never forget. Dynamic says, look, LMAO, Kishane speaking with one of the officials. That's what we need to do. Relax and have fun. Yeah. All in the game will really annoy me if Shakari somehow gets bronze after that false start. Uncle Perry says Blake will reset for the 4x1. Hey, that's the only option right now. He needs to run. He did run a couple 200s this season. And I thought, was it two? I thought that was always a good move. I don't know. Not quite sure. Maybe there's something else there that we're not privy to. Yeah. All in the game, Omanyala needs a season away from the sport. Should go play rugby sevens again for a year. Yeah. Rugby's his first love, probably. Dynamics, Kishane didn't get out as well and ran with Kenny. Average Joe, Kishane looking herky jerky. Kenny looks control. When you watch Thompson, you get a rugged look. He's not gonna be the poster child for beautiful sprint mechanics, or even once you if you get even away from that, he's just not gonna look like the athletes that you want. Right? You want him to look more like an Asafa Powell in terms of execution. If you were to compare, I guess, guys of similar height, he's a bigger built guy than Powell, but not too much, I don't think. Virginia says, average Joe. Yeah, I think Shane was shaky too, and Kenny look relaxed. But I think Thompson's running within himself too. Don't be fooled by the rugged nature. That they have to work on that, but I think that's less of a problem than the maintaining of the slowing down of the deceleration phase. It would be great if we could get a printout right now to see what that looks like, but it's still a semifinal, so it's hard to make any serious talk on that. Morning to you, Paulette. Paulette is in the house. All in the game, Shakari and Dina in lanes 2 and 9 in the final. We can put that up if it's up already. So the side is back up. I stopped looking at the side for a second. Anyway, Courtney Lindsay there, oblique Seville. All right, so these guys are ready. Let's see Litoboga taking a big breath there. Oblique Seville. Kishane started running to qualify and change when Kenny wanted to win. That's what Track for All is saying. Paulette says he needs to separate himself from them in the final. No, you got to go way out there and ask them to come. Let's see what we get here. It's a clean start. Seville's gone. I think he's gone. He twitched for sure. He did do a movement. I don't know if the foot went out, but he's gone. If it's on the point one, he's gone. But there's a movement from Seville. I don't know if he's gone. Let me take that back. We have to wait for the printout, but the grass too was it? No, the South African guy did a movement too. Gift. I was only looking at Seville. So he's gone. Leota is gone. 0.088. Seville reacted after the gun too. So he's gone. Unless they decide to do a reprieve. It was the South African guy. I saw Seville French because I was only looking at him, but he didn't. So Gift, after gifting us such a fabulous PB in the opening round, it's a yellow card. What is going on at these championships? Oh, DeGrasse gets it. Oh, it is DeGrasse who did it. Yeah. Mm-hmm. It is DeGrasse. So he gets a yellow card there. Yeah. Yeah. I'm happy about this. You don't want anybody to lose a position here because of that. It's a good start there. Seville not the best of start. Let's see Litiboga looking good, but Oblique Seville is taking a look to the left and he's jogging this all the way with his finger across. 987 from Oblique. Flat. No wind here, no helping hand. He's ready. Let's see Litabogo in a season best 994. And Hughes is gone for sure. Blake is gone. Simbini. So the two South Africans make it. Gift Leotella there. Two Jamaicans. All in the game. Oblique running well in the semis is nothing new. Problem is the final. That is very true. But at least this one, I don't think he was overdoing it or anything like running a super fast time. I mean, 1087 is still quick. Let's see. He's running well. And now he's looking across. He's easing down. He's not running particularly hard. I don't know why the finger thing here, but it could be something in the call room. It's also probably a gesture to Let's Sealy. He's talking in the race. He's actually having a conversation in the race. It's definitely to Noah, I guess. It's probably it's probably to Noah. Not even not Let's Sealy, because Noah yesterday was saying that he thought he was panicking. Average Joe Oblique looking really good. Jared, can Nico Young become a champion? I don't know. We'll talk about that later on. I'm not sure. Civil walk that. Well done, South Africa. 4 Africans in the final. Fate Kipiegan there. Civil was talking the whole race, track for all. Thunder was there too with 987. I think I missed out on a few of those. Yeah, that was interesting. We'll get a summary in a second, I suspect, of the men's rather in a second. But for women going into the final, Jefferson Wooden leads 1073 for sure. Tina Clayton 1090, Alfred 1093, Palou Smith 1094, 97 for Jackson, Fraser Price 11 flat, Richardson 11 flat, Asher Smith 1102. It's going to be a crack of a final coming up. And then this site is down again. Is it? Yeah. These guys at World Athletics really need to get a grip. Dynamic says lane assignments are out for women's 100 meters. Jefferson and Alfred next to each other. All in the game, 2 Americans, 2 Jamaicans, and 4 Africans, including 2 South Africans. Yeah. Ajay, Letsili, Akani, and Gift. Ferdinand, well done, Jamaica and South Africa. It's exciting times. Is the website down for you guys? Because mine is gone again. I don't know. So semifinals for 1500 meters on track. Faith Kipiegan there. I think that's Sinclair Johnson right beside her. Is it? Clearly, things have opened up as well in the women's 1500 meters because Deribi Weltels J isn't here. A last minute Court for Arbitration for Sport appeal by AIU/World Athletics. But there's Hall here, Lyndon Hall, Freewenny Halu is in the race as well. Madeline Sullivan Johnson. This should be a cakewalk for fate. And obviously, we can talk about anything you want from a standpoint of what happened earlier today in the heats of the 400 meters. I know we were going through some of that, but we didn't quite do it. So so it's going to be Richardson 2, Jackson in 3, Wooden in 4, Alfred in 5, Clayton in 6. The middle of the pack could be very well where the medals come from. But they still have to run the races. Tina Clayton in 6, Talu in 7, Fraser Price 8. Still waiting for the start list for the men. All right, so they're off in the women's semifinal for the 1500 meters. Faith is at the back, but that's not a surprise. She's now trying to motor her way into the middle in about lane, jostling there to get into lane 2. Suspect after the first 200 meters, she'll open up and get around everybody at some point. She may have to go a bit wide. Oh, people just fell. Oh my God. I think that's Halu that fell. My God. This is a medal contender down. I think she's catching up back to the field. Hopefully that fall was not problematic. We've seen Sifan Hassan get up from a fall and make it, but last night too, I was off the live when I got confirmation that the Kenyan delegation had protested Fanuel Koich's trip, which was denied at the time. I don't know if there's been any changes since that, but they were denied. The appeal was denied. Let me get back to some of the comments here. Japo, what's going on? Don't sleep on Seville or Tobago. I'm not sleeping on Seville for sure. I think I have always stated that it should be a Jamaica 1-2. Thompson I had over Seville, but either direction. And I kept putting Lyles on it just because of his mental toughness. Seems like he's rounding into better shape. How fast he can go, I'm not sure. But in fairness to Kung Fu Kenny should be winning. It should be on the podium given how well he ran this season. Let's see, could very well be there too. I think 200 is better the place for him, but I would never count him out. Yeah. The original BI Strong, they should upgrade the server since it happened the last 2 championship. It's even before that too, I think. It's always a problem. There was a moment where if you weren't in the back end of it, you wouldn't get results. And then if you went outside, it would just like be problematic. I don't know what they're thinking. Halu is back in it though, but she has to do a little bit of push there. So it's Faith Kipiegan with Hall right beside her, Sinclair Johnson, Madeline there. Freewenny Haru is now starting to motor up as we get to the bell lap. And I think she'll probably find her way back unless there's any problem. She's now in pole position to get into this final. Ferdinand says, I don't remember a final with 2 South African. Proud of our boys. Off the top of my head, I don't think that's ever happened. We've had finals with more than one African, from people from the African continent, but I can't recall South Africa. Okay, so Faith is still in the lead there. I think Freewen is coming. I don't know how much is in the legs. I hope she makes it through. Yeah, she's gonna get into it. So Faith Kipiegan just taking a check to the left, to the right, just asking questions. So it's gonna be her, it's gonna be Madeline, then Helu, and is that Sinclair Johnson? It looks like. That's not Madeline. I apologize. That was the other Ken, Evu. All right, want to see Halo run and get a medal after ETH screwed her last year, giving her only 1,500. Ethiopia rather giving her only 1,500 place to good off for her ridiculous triple event. Look at that! Oh my God! How I'm just looking back at that fall here. Faith is like, come along. She's having conversation with Iwoi. But yeah, that's it. They make it through. We can get the results up if it's available. Let's see what other comments I missed out. And he Helu just hit the floor. Yeah, but fortunately she made it through. McLaughlin Laverne is doing very well. She looked good today. I like how she ran that race. She executed well. I was impressed also by NASA. A bit quick for me. All the important players look good. I had no real complaints there. Uh, I mean, it was a really good performance from the woman that went back to Haiti to national record for them. Yeah, average Joe couldn't watch Jakar. Heard he ran fast heat of all time. He looked good. I don't know why he was like pushing a 49, 43.9 there, but maybe he just didn't have it in his. That was how his legs were feeling. It's a bit it's kind of a bit wild to run sub 44 in the opening round of a 400 meters, but we'll see. Blessed morning to you, Beer. Ferdinand, my favorite event, 1500, brought so many shocks. Yeah, we've lost some athletes. It's really interesting stuff that's going on. All in the game. All three Dutch guys that ran mixed 4x4 made it through round one. Well done to Clava, who did. Doom, Watson, Oganda, Agazi didn't make it through. Yeah, I think Alexander has some issues. That I don't know if they've given an update on that. I was impressed by Lika Clava because that's three 400 meters in 2 days, right? And but she didn't look. It didn't look like it had any real effect on her. The question is, she'll get some downtime. Can she run a blistering semifinal and get into that final? I don't necessarily would put money on that. Jessica Hull on the screen right now. Nikki Hills, Chip Chair in this. Healy as well. So let's see what we get there. Yeah, Watson, struggle moment for him. I hope the lad can stay healthy. If he does, then you think he could go. There's a potential to go sub 44, but didn't get an opportunity to defend his championship. I guess much like some other athletes who had the buy, you came out here and tried, but just didn't have enough. He's out for too long. Dynamics also saying he did look good, but didn't need to run. He could have shut it down. Yeah, I thought so too. I don't know what's going on, why he ran that fast, but it happens. I suspect if he can dip into a 43.9, he can go there again. Hudson Smith had to sweat a bit. to qualify, but it eventually happened. Bear says Lyles will be back on the podium. See you for the women's semifinals. Has your predictions changed or it's still the same? I'm still going with MJW, then Alfred and Clayton. I've not changed, but I do acknowledge that Talu could be there. I just don't know what to make of Sharika. She could be there. I don't know. I still don't think. I think it's a stretch for Fraser Price, uh, if that's the question most people are asking. But how would I love it? It would just be. It would be for the ages. But that's much more of a. That's the nostalgic element of thinking about her career and wanting it to finish in a fairy tale manner. I'm not seeing that, to be honest with you. Yeah, Simbini's been around for a long time. He's been around for a long time. He has this now interesting record of the longest going consecutive sub 10 seconds. I don't know what to make of statistics like that because, yeah, it's obviously an important feat, but it doesn't compare to getting championship medals, and that's where he has struggled, and it's very unfortunate. And it seems like he's not in the mix for a championship medal again this year. Thunder says last year had Simbini and Tobago. I think he meant like from South Africa. Yeah. The country itself. Yeah. Bears also saying, wouldn't be surprised if Shakari springs something. I it would be so Shakari to do that, but I don't think she's in that kind of a form right now. What's the best you can anticipate? 10-8? Is 10-8 good enough for the podium? I don't think so. No, I agree with you. I figured that's what you meant there. Uh, Dynamics men's lanes draws out. We can put that up on the screen if in a second. I'm just watching this race here. I took my eye off of it. One lap to go. They're at so that 308 there. So there's no real separation at the moment. It seems like I don't know who's that. It's like Chip Church is right beside Jess Hull. Nikki Hills is still there. How about that marathon last night, guys? Fabulous there. Perez was on form. I thought TJ should have won, but didn't happen. What happened to that protest all in the game, or anybody knows about the water stations for the Kenyans? So it's going to be Jessica. Why are they showing the back of the pack? So Hull, Chip Churcher, and Nikki Hiltz, those three will go through easily, and the rest the other three behind them will also make it. So Kazmierska, Stafford there, Debu Stafford, and Zenani makes it through. I think Healy might be out. Ferdinand Greenwood all in the game saying good off for good Halo was screwed to give good off a chance. Dynamic says Lyles in 4, Thompson 5, Kenny 6, Oblique in 8. No, Lyles 4, Thompson 5, Kenny 6, Oblique 7, and Toboga in 8. And all in the game also Green. All in the game mentioning Hudson Smith only flew in 4 to 5 days ago, which is such a bad decision. Where was he flying from? Was he coming straight from Great Britain? I actually didn't see this. Ferdinand says, remember Lika is part of the 4x1 as well. She's actually part of a new Dutch record. She is. That's a lot of running there. The Dutch definitely do team before individual. I want to get an update on the long jump. Haven't been following that. Let's see if I can do a quick update on the long jump right now. Davis Woodall still in the lead after round 3, 7:08. Mihambo 6:95, and the Colombian Linares 6:85. Capture 6:82 right now. Burks 6:60. Where's Bryant? 6:58. Okay, so I don't know if there's going to be any bigger jumps there from Clear, or obviously Yapachina is gone, one of the medal favorites. They didn't qualify. All in the game. Hudson Smith flew in from training base in Florida. That's not a good idea then. That is a yeah, yeah. The time zone thing there is massive. It takes probably a couple of days to get used to it. But having said all of that too, I'm sure it's flying. Flew business class, flatbed. Maybe he's used to transitioning quickly. Who knows? So 10,000 meters are gonna come up next on the track. Men's 10,000 meters. Get your predictions in for that. This is an interesting one this year. No Cheptegei, no Kipilimo. Look at Mihambo here motoring down the runway for the long jump. Mihambo needs a big one to get to. That's 695 there. And then we'll get 100-meter finals at 9:13 and men's 9:20. So after a long jump finals still in going. We have a few more. We still have 3 rounds to go. But 10,000 meters next on the track. All in the game. You need a full 7 days to get acclimated properly. Yeah, you want to be there. There's all these different storylines on this, but I don't see any reason why a superb athlete like that does. You want to go down there and make sure you have the best of conditions. First few days you walk around, and then you can get some training under your belt. Because the time zone is different, right? It's like what, 14-hour time zone or something like that, 13-hour time zone. All in game. Want to see Miamba pop out a big jump to put Tara under pressure. Yeah, I want a 7 meters right now from her. Now would be the time for the lead to change. And then you'll get probably something really big. Can we get a couple more? Can we get 3 women over 7 meters? That would be good. So the let's get the sum. So summary going into the women's semifinal. NASA at 49.13. She's way out there today. I guess she can't control herself but run fast. Sydney 49.4. Stacey and Williams there. It was a big PB for her. She looked chuffed after running that 49.59. Paulina 49.85. Venlo, who ran for the US, she was in Doha many years ago. Now switch allegiance to Haiti. National record 49.91. Nikisha Price also looked like a good professional run from her to 49.91. Amber Anning 49.96. Henrietta Jaga 50.12. Bukovecchia, which was Kazmarek 50.16. Lika Klava. So some good running there. Alia Butler. Trying to think. Dejane Oakley. Yeah. Ursutic didn't make it. Hmm. She was in that uh that mixed 4x4. Thunder saying, did you see the clip of Tara on Ready Set Go talking about putting her husband's legs where he couldn't reach? I didn't see. I know I didn't see it. I know there. I saw some clips of her. I didn't watch that, to be honest with you. So I didn't get all the full setup there. Yeah. Tom says in the heat of the men's point zero AA no card. So that was, I think, because they attributed the reaction false start to the twitch from the grass. So that's why the GIF wasn't thrown out. I'll be back in a second, guys. I'm just gonna replenish one of my. See if I can get another coffee or so. Maybe. All right, I'm back. So the men's 10,000 meters started there. You have Grant Fisher, I think, in the front right now. It's gonna be interesting. I'm trying to think what I put on my prediction. Oh, we got to play some predictions here. Forgot about that. Are you guys playing a prediction game? I totally forgot I got to update my predictions before I lose points. I got 24 minutes to play these things. So let's see. I can play women. So I'm going and men. All right, I got time to play a marathon and I'm gonna throw. All right. All right, so 10,000 meters on the track. It's going to take a while, obviously, to go through. It's as I did in my preview, I was saying it's not the same 10,000 meters we're used to. So first time we won't see uh, Joshua Cheptegei for a while. So he opens up a different avenue. Can Grant Fisher do something? I like Aragawi as well. And so we'll see what we get here from a bunch of guys. Nico Young is there too. I'm not sure where you guys had who you had for your predictions on the men's 10,000 meters. I think I changed my prediction in the predictor thing, and now I don't even remember what I put in the predictor. I could look and see what I did for the plane again, but because my mind was all over the place for the 10,000 meters. I think I went with Argari. I think where's Kajecha? I think I did Yomif Kajecha and maybe Solomon Barega. Did I do a Ethiopia all 1, 2, 3 on this? It's probably not. Doesn't even make sense. But so you have Ishmael and also Kipkuri. Interesting. That is Ferdinand there. Japa says hot take on the men's 100-meter finals. Don't sleep on Tobago. I don't think anyone should. The Swede there running in a hat. I'm not sure what's the purpose of running a hat at night, but maybe it's just a superstition, or maybe the stadium lights are a bit bright. He could have an eye condition. I don't know. Tom says the guy with the red shoes will win. All in the game. Would love nothing more than to see Akani win at least bronze, but will be tough. Will be so tough. Have Aragari, Kajeshla, and Fisher in that order. Yeah, but Solomon Barega now starting to come up. I think this is the Ethiopian pack running that we're going to see. So Barega is now starting to push the pace. Kajelcha is still in the middle of the pack. The other Ethiopians are there. He's pushing. They are doing the teamwork strategy at play right now. I have no doubts in my mind. He's going to push this, potentially back off, but no one's coming with him. So this only works if people believe that the strategy is a real strategy and you start to go with them. Yeah. All in the game. Can give Leotella in lane 9 sneak up bronze? It's possible. The kid looks good. You have to like even the fact that he's adjusting to the adversity at this false start. Not that they issued him anything, but he would have been nervous. I really think that when you think about the context of the 100 meters and this season, Lyles shouldn't be on the podium. We should be talking about Kung Fu Kenny. We should be talking about Akani, potentially no GIF. But Lyles is a hard man not to think about getting on the podium. It's one of those things. Well, we'll see. I hope they show some call room activity. He might be in there doing extra mind games. But I wouldn't put it past the kid to do it. It would be a wonderful achievement for South Africa or he to do it. I'm not quite seeing it right now. But he did run 9.8, so speed wise, yeah. Rounds wise, different question. Carol, how you doing? I'm a civilian. Trophies coming our way. Oblique Seville. Now is the time. It's his moment to get on a podium. If he were to win it all, would any of us be shocked? Not based on his ability. He's certainly a beautiful sprinter to watch. Whatever happens in a few in not too long from now, I certainly hope that he's on the podium. And now they've come back from commercial break because I'm not quite sure why they're showing commercial break in the middle of the 10,000 meter final. It's quite disrespectful. Dynamics, my women's picks Jefferson, Alfred Shakari. Wow, that's a big call there. Dynamics. Shakari. You have Budapest in your mind? Kimani, do you think Akeem needs a new training setup? I don't know. It's an impossible question for me to answer with any level of good sense. I can ask and find out. One, why do athletes want? Why would you change an athlete in general if we're just doing it? What would give an athlete cause to change? Maybe if the environment isn't right, maybe they think the coach isn't doing the right thing, the relationship. There's a lot of things that come into play. We also don't necessarily have a full picture about preparation. You never do. And not only just the physical preparation, the mental preparation, all of that. Sometimes athletes have significant setbacks, or maybe not significant, but they may pick up setbacks that make them fail to execute a program the way you want. And perhaps they do changes on that to modify it. I don't know the answer to this to make any sense of it. I'm always supportive of athletes changing if it's for the right reasons. That would necessarily now be a conversation he has to have with himself, his support structure, and do it. We've seen successful changes. We've also seen changes where it just didn't work out. Yeah, I don't know why. Maybe perhaps you can give me a sense of why you think he should leave that setup. What you think is not working. We can look and see that there are areas that he needs to work on, and he should be trying to get into a final, and it didn't happen. Why that really is happening, it's much more complicated than we can just do from the coach quarterback, the coach commentary, I guess. Dynamic says my picks. What I want is oblique Kishane Akani, but I don't trust the Jamaicans mentally. So my final picks: Lyles, Thompson, Bednarak. Interesting. So either way, you have Thompson finishing in the second position. Carroll, Jefferson, Jackson, and the twin. So you know Alfred? Carol, I can't. I don't. That is wild. I appreciate that, but this is this a hard pick, or and that's how you want it to go, or you really think that way? There's no way Julian Alfred is off the podium. Yeah. What if you run to get lane for? I'm not sure I understand what you're saying there, average show. Maybe do it again. Ferdinand, good choice is all in the game. If Kajacho wind up, he may take goal. I mean, Yomif is an interesting guy. He's right there now. The Japanese guys are in front. Suzuki there. Could they spring a surprise? I'm not sure. I mean, they know the conditions better than others, but conditions, I don't really know. They're also running in tag team there. There's a little hand signal, it seems like. So it's Kasai and Suzuki. He's also a bunch of guys running wide now, so they're looking to get some water. The conditions out there seems tough. I think it's like 80 something degrees, humidity really wild. So this is not easy running. Jared says, imagine Leotello getting a medal for bronze before Akane. It can happen. It certainly could happen. It's one, but so nonetheless, I suspect South Africa would be happy with that. They want people on the podium. Ferdinand is here; he can definitely. uh, I think they would be celebrating in Cape Town, in Johannesburg, you name it. Ferdinand says 100 meters for him. It's Seville, Thompson, and Gift. SP says Oblique has the ability, but the execution is the question. It is. Until he gets over this hump, which is we're about to find out. I've said it on a number of occasions. It's a broken record. It's not a particularly great analysis from anybody. But running the rounds is where it counts at major championships. If you look at this semifinal run compared to the one, say, in Paris last year, how would you rate it in terms of ease of execution? That would be my question. Mind games are floating around everywhere. The boxing match tradition of sprinting is back. They're not physical, like in your face, but a lot of talking's happening. He just needs to execute. I think if he gets out there, runs the race of his life, he's a podium content. He's on the podium. Can he win it all? Yes. Will he do it? I don't know. Nevada, let me call it Oblique Shane and Kung Fu Kenny. That should happen too if you think about the how well Kenny ran the season. He had a little niggle, but he's been consistently good. He didn't. He stuck around, got some extra training. Now he's back here now. I think he lives. I think the problem is what happens. Carl says 17-13 in the long jump. Wow, certified goal. Let's see what we're getting here on the long jump. I don't know what's going on here. Let's see Mohamba here. It's like 699 on that jump. Yeah, I forgot to be following they're just showing it on the screen on my screen here. So 699 for Malika. But yeah, Woodall Davis at 713. I haven't seen the jump yet. They're gonna probably show it now. That's over. It's definitely over. Whoa, that is a huge jump. She got a lot of hang time there. Look at that really good elevation. And she just like floated, the arms are up. Very nice from Tara. 713 is a massive jump. This is a world leading jump. That's the gold medal. I can't see Muhammad coming back from that. Jared says, I'll predict podium 2, Noah, Kishane, Kenny. Kimani says, a very forceful, aggressive Lyles is showing up to that finals. Carol, heart pick, but love me some Alfred as well. Brian, how fast do you think the women in the world are gonna run to win? I think 10-6 is popping up tonight. I think 2:10:6 could be even better. I think 10:7's required for the bronze medal. That's what I'm thinking. I'm thinking Tina Clayton is gonna run like a 10:75 or in between there, maybe closer to 10:7, depending. But 10:70, sub 10:8 for me for Clayton. And I think Alfred and Jefferson Wooden are gonna run very low 10:6. If you get the right conditions, if it's favorable. If it's like a 1.8 win to 2 there, it could be sub 10:6. Sounds crazy, but it's possible. Alfred for Margaret. She thinks she's gonna win. Jared says, I mean this in the most respectful way possibly, but do the Japanese actually think they can win deciding place? I mean, they've tried this stuff before. I don't know if they sometimes you have to try to strike your own advantage here, but they're backed off significantly now. Grant Fisher is up in the front now. A bunch of Kenyans there leading the pack. The Ethiopians are not quite there at the moment. I see Kajelcha, but is that Aragari? I'm not quite sure. But Fisher is into third position there. There's one Kenyan in the lead, then a Ugandan. Both of those are going a bit wide now, which suggests they're going to pick up water, and they certainly did pick up water. Valerie Alman here getting interviewed from Lewis in the picture. Not sure what she's saying. But Alman, another gold medal, a superb athlete. Grant Fisher in the lead at the moment now. Let's see. Average water station in 4. Yeah, it is. You have to have it. It says too hot out there. So cool they can take water, Tom is saying. Eric, how are you? Civil, the winner. Kimani and Lyles has been practicing his complete race model throughout the rounds. Jared is responding to Dynamics there. Dynamics also say, also the starter is horrible. He's been holding guys in the blocks a bit too long. Yeah, I didn't like it. I saw also in the like even was it last night too? I thought they were terrible in the women's 100-meter hurdles opening round. I'm not sure I like how they're holding them. Jared, I think Noah will win 978. Eric says Civil the winner. Jared, I hope Nico Young wins too. He's there right now, but it's still a bit early. We're just about approaching 7,000 meters, about 7 2. I guess we're approaching the Japanese athlete coming back now. The Swedish athlete there, I think he lost his cap now, right? Algram. I think he could also do something interesting. He has been on fire this year. Conditions are. I just don't really know, to be honest with you. I know I'm rambling on this. It's how you manage this. The Japanese are pushing again. The Swede is right behind him. Let me get back to your comments here. Is it you? You need something though, average Joe. You cannot. It's too hot out there. You need, and they want you have to cool down. It's always. I mean, you see it in the marathon, which is much longer though. But yeah, grabbing up a little water or something, if they feel like they need it, they'll take it. Ferdinand says, "My heart wishes both my homeboys on podium, but I'm a realistic man. Other than South Africa, I openly support Jamaica in the sprints." Japa Lyles is the only runner in the 100 meters final who is guaranteed to run his fastest race that's this season. Civil and Thomas need that mentality and had better beware. Yeah, you better believe it. Now will probably bring his A game. All in the game wants a 7:15 from Mihambo right now. That would take it to another notch. Tom says the 10,000 is brutal. So Kasai there just picking up a little bit of a water. It's not much of a stretch to go get the water out there. I mean, yeah, you're running a little bit more distance, but it's such a long race that you're already in that kind of pace. The energy system you're going for is not like it's not a sprint, so you're fine. Ferdinand also saying they need water. You don't really lose position. Obviously, last 800 they'll sip water. Yeah, it's hot, you know. All in the game. Those NBC interviews are so cringe. They haven't quite figured out how to sell track. They don't. I don't even respect NBC and their track situation. Anyway, I don't want to start on that. Clipped in the house. Big up to you too. I don't know the status of Grand Future. You'd have to Google that right now. I don't. Kimani, why is everyone still in the lead pack? It's hot. I think there's no separation yet. It's still like 8, 9. I don't think you're gonna get any real separation until 9,000 meters. The biggest fear these guys will have is to try to push and do something where they end up out of the medals. So when it's super hot like this, they're just gonna bunch up, and whoever has the better kick will rely on it. At some point, someone will make a break for it. But less than a mile now to go in this 10,000 meters. Nico Young now starting to push. The Swedish athlete there as well. Keljelcha is up there. Grant Fisher. Yeah, they're all bunched together. Water time according to the bet. Japa says, smash that like buttons. Yeah, I like it. Robert, I'm very disappointed with 104 men. No athlete has gone on a 9-7. Bolt's record is safe. Safe. It is Bolt's record is in a safe gathering. Does 9-7 is a hard place to be though, Robert. It's not easy. We get spoiled by that era. We get spoiled by one man, and then I think all in the game is here is probably gonna say something like a lot of guys who try to catch up with Bolt also ended up, on the wrong side of the anti-doping thing. So in our minds, we think 9-7 is something that people can consistently run, and it's not. And to go below 9, remember the 9-7 in real category started at Maurice, then Asafa, then Usain, and a bunch of other guys get in the mix. You have your Johan Blakes, Tyson. We all know what happened there. Justin, all that. And to go sub 9-7 is just virtually outrageous territory. And only Usain has done it on more than one occasion, and in championship setting. It's the difference to just pop that on the circuit. So I think we just gotta understand that it's a hard place to be, and we're also talking about an era where there's improvement again on the track technology, not significant, but enough more energy return to help a bit. The spikes is the biggest talking point. Solomon Barrega right there, starting motor. I have him on the podium for my predictions. Let's see what happens. Grant Fisher is still there. Kajelsha, the Swede Algram is there as well. Yeah, still a big bunch here. We are going for a massive kick right now. Genuine question: how was Bolt able to run fastest in championships every race? Is GOAT, different class. Nika Young's there in the back. One lap to go into this. I'll get back to your comments here. This is hot. There's a pile of anyone who can win this right now. So Barrega, Aragawi, Keljelsha, Grant Fisher there trying to motor on the back, especially Ethiopian guys are coming. Algram is there too. Nika Young is running wide. This is a push. I think Young is going too wide too early, but maybe he think he has no chance. Jomic Kevelcha in the lead here. Can he win this? He's looking around. I don't think he can do it. You cannot be serious. Gracie is going to win this out of nowhere ahead of Kejelcha and Algrim from Sweden. Holy 28, 55, 77. Where did he find that kick from? Kejelcha for second. The Swede Algrim. There are two Europeans in the top three. In the devastating heat. Kipkuri for fourth. Who saw that coming? I don't even think I called that dude's name the whole race as I was looking at it. Fisher, Nico Young got run out of it. Yomish Keljelsha, he made that move probably a bit too early because as soon as he was on the home stretch, he was doing a left and right, and I knew he had nothing left. But enough though to hold on. Solomon Barrega, they're finishing in sixth. Grant Fisher, fifth. Jimmy Gressier, I didn't see that coming. I'll get down to the bottom and come back up here in terms of all in the game. Well done, Jimmy. Kaljelsha winning his customer silver. You guys are joking. No, Algram didn't win. It was the Gressier guy. Carol, wow from Tom. I think Nico about to win. No, it didn't happen. France won. All in the game 975 to 985 are reasonable, realistic times for Elite 100. Bolts was an anomaly. Yeah, 100% agree. Sub 9.8 wins the 100 meter. No one is going sub 975. Also agreed on that. Final lap. So SB says, do you think we'll have separation in the 100 final or Paris photo finish? I'm thinking the latter. Good question. If two guys can run, I think 9.8 gets on the podium. I think probably 9.85 will be on the podium. We know. I don't really know what kind of shape Seville is in. I've been told that they think he can run 9.7, even better. I have to see it. We know Thompson can do a 9.7. Will he execute that? If he can, maybe you'll see a slight separation. But it may come down to a photo finish. You don't like those chances if you're a Thompson, or but we'll have to see. You remember when Bekele could kick and drop everyone? Yeah, yeah. Kenelisa Bekele, different class there too. Gambit says Kishan needs to do 200 to achieve full potential in 100. Case in point, both Tyson, Johan, Gatlin. I don't know. I understand the logic on that, but you also have to remember to successfully run the double also means that your body has to be capable of taking that kind of work. I'm not saying he can't do it, but it's it's been documented that he struggles with various niggles. I think they have a handle on it now. So, and I'm not 100% sure you always have to run the 200. I mean, there is stuff for speed endurance that you do in training all the time. That's where you usually do it. But I do get it. If he could run more, that he may put on a lot more work. He would do a lot more work. He probably also would have to be a little bit leaner too. I don't. We'll see. If I missed any comments earlier, apologize. We're getting up to that time soon for the 100-meter final. Kimani says Grant kicked too early. Yomi went too early too. I 100% agree. Should have waited a slightly little bit more. Maybe he would have a chance. Yeah. Japa says, as far as breakable records are concerned, there will come a time when we reach the point of diminishing returns. There's a good chance the Bolt and Duplantis have taken us to the threshold. Mondo's definitely getting there. I don't know where he'll stop. I think he could go another couple centimeters, perhaps. After that, but I remember a year or two ago, I'm saying, is it really possible that 12:20 could go? And it's happened. Let's see Linares here from Colombia. Is she the best jumper Colombia has had since Ibagwen? It's a big jump there for her. 692 for her. It's a good jump. Yeah, as for the boat record, I don't know if we've gone to the ceiling. I think the 200 is the weaker of the two, if ever, and that's still outrageous. Yeah, I don't think there's anyone capable of running 9.5 right now. I don't see anybody. That could change in some years to come to it, I think it's safe for now. It's very safe. 9 minutes to the final. It's less than that now, original, since I took a while to get to your comment. Virginia, the 100-meter men's will be photo finish. Photo finish. I don't think Thompson's winning. Virginia photo finish will, with them giving it to an American. LOL. I don't think that's how it works, but I know where you're coming from. It's not how it works though. Look at the look there for Linares there. Virginia, I haven't seen any 100 champion not run the 200. Mo Green, Donovan Bailey, Linford Christie. I mean, sometimes you see them run a 200, but then Mo Green did run a 200 as a major championship once, but it's not a thing that he would normally do. I mean, Fraser Price never really ran 200. I mean, she did. She had a world title in it or so, but it's not like a thing every year she was lining up to do that. Is that a how big of a jump is that? Oh, it was a red. That jump would have been the biggest jump in the. I wish they would sometime measure those jumps so we can get a sense of what it is. That was a big jump there from Miamba. Oh yeah, but the foot was way, way over. Yeah, way, way over. Way, way over. 5 more minutes for dynamic. Countdown. Bailey, Olympic and world champion didn't run. Yeah, Maurice Green. I guess you guys are already Raquel. You're already responding before I get to these comments. Yeah, but they all run some. Mo run a. I think Mo has a 19.8, right? Does he or 1990 something? I can't remember now off the top of my head. You don't have to cut. It's not really a thing. Virgin is like Kishan never run any 200. Jared is saying 958 is breakable. Not now. Ferdinand said, "Ladies up now. I am getting so nervous." According to Carol, Julian, Melissa, Tina, or Talu. My last call there from Ferdinand. Gambit's both true potential is 942. That the limit of human speed 958 is breakable, but not now. You saw that whole thing that they were like, oh, the world record would have been 9.4 if both ran that in the current Puma spikes that they have. So I know I don't know if I believe that either, but it's interesting simulation that they run. Virginia, though I want Juju to win, I think it will be Melissa, Juju, and Tina. We're very close now. Predictions. Jared is saying 1041 Jewel. I mean, come on. You make these things up. All right. We need a light show before every final, all in the game. There's so many comments here. I think I can get to most of them. Yes, the light show, Tom. It's time. It's time. All right. Let's see. There's a focus on Jefferson Wooden's face right now. Talu. On my predictions, I had MJW, Alfred, and Clayton. In my heart, Juju, but I didn't put it on paper. Shelly Fraser Price is being introduced to the crowd. 38 years of age. It's just amazing, right? To be here this time. No, it's a Puma doing things for sure, Japa. You have to sell something. Yeah. Those simulations don't work the way they're doing that. Yeah. That's more marketing than anything else. I don't know why I'm getting a bit nervous in a 100-meter final and I'm not even running. Woo. Look at that race there. Melissa Jefferson, Sharika Jackson. Jefferson Wooden is flying. Tina Clayton is going to get a silver medal. $10.61 for Wooden. That's pretty close to $10.76 for Clayton. I don't know what happened to Alfred. $10.84. Jackson's looks like for 4. Richardson's there too. I don't think anybody else have picked up a medal at that age. I got that order, but not in. I got those 3 on the podium, but not in that order. Season best for Richardson. 10.61. It looks like is Sharika hurt? She's on the. Yeah, it looks like Sharika's hurt. Talu there. Fraser Price finishing on in a major way. All in the game saying changing on the guard. Tina for silver. I told you guys Tina was going to medal. I told she was going to run 10.75 or so, but I didn't expect that to be good enough for second. Melissa Jefferson Wooden all season, extremely top class running. Look at that. She got out smooth. Look at Tina Clayton running well too, trying to hang with Jefferson Wooden, but couldn't. Look at that. Can you count her out now for the double? Afrobody says it wouldn't be close. So the Americans go back to back at the World Championship. Tina Clayton is running for Jamaica flagger. I think that's her mother there. Let me tell you something. Shout out to these Jamaican women. They always find a way on a podium. Last year was a weird situation, but somewhere there's so much comments coming through. I get to it. I have to see this again. Congratulations to Melissa Jefferson Wooden. That was a season for the ages for her. Consistently the best sprinter this year. Not sure I can explain the Alfred situation. I just don't know what happened there. Let me get to the comments here. Puyo says, respect for Tina. The original BI strong as Tina with a bunch of fireworks. Rachel's MJW winning. Paulette says, we love you, Shelly. We definitely love you, Shelly. It's fantastic that Shelly made the final. Couldn't go below 11 seconds, but she's 38 years of age. Yeah. Chris says, you've forgotten Merlene. I don't know where that came into the context, but no one would forget Merlinati. She's one of the goats. Thank you all. Thank you, Jesus, from Paul. Original, just hitting fireworks, fire flame signals. I don't even know what I'm saying. Silver for Tina. All in the game says changing of the guard. Tina, not in that order at all for Virginia. Whoa, Tina, Melissa. Whoa, Alfred folded up. Dynamic says call Tina. I mean, I knew she was going to be on the podium, but I didn't, and I knew she was going to run 10.7. I just felt that way, but I didn't think Alfred was going to run 10.8. Noah Lyles there in deep contemplation. Looks like he's doing something. I don't know if he's praying, if he's giving himself some words of encouragement. No idea. Oblique. Sherwood 991 says, and big up Franner, he asks for patience. I think there's never been a doubt in my mind or in anybody else's mind, because it's there for see that the Jamaican women are never in good hands. You're gonna have Tia's gonna be back. There's always women to find a way back on a podium. we obviously want people always want gold medals, but they never fail to disappoint. Last year was just a blip. Cheryl, who says we have to apologize? Me? I did say I have to apologize to Tina for not for putting her in the for bronze medal position, but certainly I had MJW winning and I had Alfred for second, but I just didn't see that. So I'll apologize to Tina for that. Yeah, but I'm now a Tina believer. I believe more in Tina. Tina is the one that you usually would from the junior championships, right? Yeah. Baxter says Tina Silva. Well done, bronze for Julian. Yeah, yeah, we're a little bit shocked with the Alfred positioning there, but she's on the podium. I don't think she'll be happy with that. I want to wear Sherika Jackson's. But let's look at this. Kishane Thompson there, Seville, Lolita, Gift Lolita, Bednarak, Lyles, Ajay, Simbini. Let's see what we get here. But MJW, fastest woman in the world, fastest woman title, however you want to think about it. Last call for positionings here. Bolt in the house, Carl is saying. It is, yeah. The great man is there. That's beside Ricky, his agent, longtime agent. He's nervous, it looks like. He's shaking as if he's like about to run, like Hugo Boss in the building, according to Baxter there. All right. It's been a while we get men and women on the track at the same time. You don't even get a chance to soak in this performance from the women. What in the world is Let's See to doing? Did he do that on purpose? It's gone. Let's see, Little Boga is gone. Yeah, I don't think there's any opportunity for any waving of any green flags or anything. That's as clear as day. We don't need reaction times for anything there. It's gone. Chris says Shelley 100 record in championships, including Olympics. Yeah, Shelley is the goal. I don't know. Damn it, let's see it from All in the Game. I don't know what he was thinking there. Absolute nonsense. Thompson needs to be relaxed. How in the world is he false starting at this level with his caliber? It's not. It's not even a reaction time fall. It's just like gone. Yeah, he looked like he just walked out of that for sure, Virginia. His head is gone. So clean start. Look at Oblique Seville. Kishane Thompson is going to win this. Oblique Seville coming. And it's going to be Jamaica 1-2. Oblique Seville wins this. 1-2 for the Jamaicans. $977. I heard, I told you that they told me he could run it. I wasn't sure. This is the podium I had, but not in this direction. I think Leighton had the podium in this direction. What I tell you, Lyles always finds a way on a podium. Oblique Seville, 977, personal best. Glenn Mills has done it again. Kishane Thompson, 982. We will continue to talk about that part, but 1-2 for Jamaica. And Noah Lyles, always, what did he say? Put some respect on his name. Is that what he said? Look at that. Jamaica 1-2. Noah Lyles back on the podium. People eat your words. Paulette is saying that. Oblique, I'm sorry. I'm not sorry. I had him on the podium. I had him on number 2, but he clearly number 1. 977. Kung Fu Kenny. Lots of questions there. Lyles always find a way. Look, I don't think they're happy with Oblique. He's barely wanting to talk to Noah Lyles. Look at that. I got to see. I get to the comments. This is wild. Jamaica stand up. Look at that. That's a really good start from Thompson too. Oblique got into that. And look at this guy chasing him down. Look at that. Look at that. Big man thing. Once again, Thompson gets run down, but this time it's by his countryman, and I suspect Jamaica won't be upset. Chest beaten, vest destroyed. Look at that. The man finds a way to run the rounds. What happened to Kung Fu Kenny? I have to look at this again. All in the game is saying he got left in the blocks. He's like, get Kishane running a couple 200. He has to run some. Look at you saying about almost killing Ricky Sims. Lots of chest beating there to Oblique Seville. $977. You run your personal best in a final. That's how you do it. That's the Glenn Mills way. I don't even know where the comments is wild, guys. Virginia done 200 help Oblique this year. Did he run a one? No, did he run that 115 Atlanta or he pulled out for that? I can't remember. Oblique did it finally at last. The weight of his shoulders, off his shoulders rather. It's gone, yeah. World champion. Sprint capital somewhat restored or back in the conversation. You have to love it. Bednarak left in the blocks. Oblique sent me on a 4-mile run after the first round yesterday, Sherwood. SP Oblique pulled their Lyles and shot them down. Mr. Roo says, yes, Jesus. I mean, lots of praying happening there. All in the game. Get Kishane running a couple 200, yeah. Or you got to get on that 150 event. They got to run every 150 race next year for sure. Kenny was left in the blocks. Beautiful race. Congrats. Civilly finished better than Thompson. I almost got it right, Nevada said. Toboga better bringing it in the 200 for all in the game. Original, I told you. Seville for the goal. You did. Kishane doesn't have top end. Seville is the complete package. He doesn't have maintenance of his speed for sure. I will look at the breakout there. Lots of stuff. Paulette says people eat your words. Wow, wow, yes, oblique. There's also of these stuff. I'll just like run through them as best as I can. Afro says Kishane's form is in the second half is horrible. It is. The original says I woke up my whole building. Hey, sometimes you need that ring out in a Sunday morning. Wayne, no one ever gonna beat this man. Hey, you gotta like it. Common sense 959. Thompson have to keep working on the last phase of his race. I hope he will get it right in 2027. Yeah, back-to-back silver medals for him. He can't be happy, but he's also not walking away without some silverware. Next World Championships, Jamaica have 4 men into the championship there. That should be an opening for other people too. Flash flood warning from Wayne Walker. Japa Lyles has to figure out how to get below 979. That's all in the first part of the race. Fastest man in the world, yes, Van Zyl. Virginia Ida Bleak as winner too. Mala says Kishane is not vexed, he's surprised. Flash flood, I told him Seville. Asir, I predicted long time ago that Oblique was going to win. SP Kishane's vex. Original, I had Thompson, Thompson, Kenny, so only got one wrong. I had the podium, but not in that order as well. Gambit 5-6 Civil is amazing. Average Joe Oblique has arrived. Sherwood Oblique need to do this. And now it was a defining moment for him. It is certainly a defining moment. He has arrived. Kishane now knows how to floor his silver. Eric says, I told you, Seville. Simba says, Oblique had the last laugh. Wayne is just predicting also. First, he's like, flash flood, now you're on hurricane. When does the tornado start? Cyclones. Oblique Seville, my take. We looked at this guy, talent. We heard about it. He goes to Tokyo, first championship. No pressure. Kid is young. Some of us had him on the podium in Oregon in 22. Not everybody did, but people thought he could have gone on it. We can argue around that. I thought he should have made that podium. In Budapest, he should have been on the podium. No questions. And it didn't happen. Last year in Paris, we were saying the same thing. After that semifinal run, the guy looked like a supreme sprinter. He looked like he was going to win this. He had an injury in the final. Didn't happen. If he came here tonight in Tokyo and didn't find his way on the podium, the questions will be longer than the Nile. Not only did he find his way on this podium, he's the very best in the world, runs a PB at the right time. He's answered all the critics. I hope for himself he looks at this not only as a defining moment, but as a moment to say that for the next how many years, you're not catching me. Ultimate Championships next year, get another World Championships. We'll go into we go into LA. How old is he? 24? He's here. Common sense says Frano needs to make Kishane run the 200 to make him finish better. Paulette says, I think the false start threw off Kishane, but everyone got the false start, so it's hard to say that, right? It's not like it only impacted one athlete, right? And he shouldn't make that happen, right? Noah is who is panicking. Civil, faster, stronger. Yeah, the guy he's on fire right now. Cheryl, Civil, and she's shouting out Jesus at the same time too. Asira says, kudos to the Nigerian guy for reaching the final after such a long NCAA season. No, I want to shout out the African guys, especially Ajayi and also Gift. It's a big, big achievement for them. Paulette says he's just started. Civil on Eric says Civil is laughing all the way with a Jamaica flag. Anika says, had to stop by and say, 1, 2, I am over the moon. Happy Sunday to you. Seville found a second gear there, she's saying. Wilson, how you doing there? Shakira also says he's going to say he got COVID overnight. Oh, come on, you guys are killing me with the stuff here. Hey, I want to see a fabulous interview from Oblique Seville. And he must reference the fact that the man says, I knew he was going to be in the back and he was choking or whatever. That no, he has to, that need to be, in fact, he shouldn't even say it in the interview. Should wait for the press conference, and that's where you have to deliver that speech. Where's the speechwriter? Someone get him a speechwriter right now. Get him in the bathroom so he can practice this line because he needs to deliver this at the highest level. I need a Richard Pryor delivery in comedic fashion, Dave Chappelle, you name it, because this is gonna be fun. Where am I in the comments here? Keep those comments coming in, guys. Thank you everybody for liking the video. Kishane needs to start the 4x1 because he started superb. We get the 4x1 in a few days' time. We'll think about that. Wayne, new weather forecast. That was a severe flash flood in Tokyo. Noah Ark. I'm gonna stop with you guys. One civil from the original BI Strong. Common Sense 1959 is here. No false start throw off Kishane. He just don't have the finish that Seville has for the 100 meters. Francis needs to make Kishane run the 200 over the next 2 years. Yeah, 2 silver medalists tonight for one of the all-time great coaches too in Francis, Coach Frana Francis there, Stephen Francis. I wonder if he was watching Michigan football last night. I know he went to Michigan at least for his masters, I think. Yeah. Dynamics 416. Pardon. Oh. Dynamics, man. We can't have that in the comment section here. I slipped on that one. Yeah. All in the game. I want to see 19 threes from Toboga after the false start. I want to hear what Letzili's saying because it's just outrageous. Like, what is he doing? Like, why did he do that? Right? Yeah. Japa says this win should be more than confidence booster for Oblique. The future in the 100 looks dark for Lyles. The 200 is wheelhouse. In fairness to Noah Lyles, and I want to say this, and I don't mean it in a disrespectful manner for Noah, because one, the man is an Olympic champion, he's a world champion, he's also a bronze medalist here. That type of record a lot of people would dream to have. But I still firmly believe that it's a lot of 100-meter guys that opened the way for Noah Elias to think that he can drop down from 200 meters and compete with these guys. Your Fred Curleys of the world, your Kung Fu Kennys, your Kristen Coleman, Trayvon Burmel. Those guys were running in a kind of different type of fashion. Noah wouldn't be in a conversation, right? He would just stick to the 200 and try to edge down closer and closer to Johan Blake's territory. But they gave him a sighting, and he kicked through the door, and he found his way at the very top level here. I suspect also on the Noah Elias situation, a lot of people, including his camp, and he'll be quick to point out maybe after the championships that he was injured this season. So he'll probably use that as like, what if I wasn't injured? Because he talks a lot. But they opened the door and he took all the chances. And in sport, you have to take your chances. Will it now remain shut? It's hard to say that. It might remain shut to win the gold medal, but the man is making teams and he's on the podium. So I don't think it's there, right? It's not there. Virginia says he's gonna say I did great coming. See it? I didn't even see that. Yeah. Thank you. Exactly what I said there, because it takes me a while to get through these comments, but I'll get through them. What time is it? I gotta watch the Manchester Derby. We still have a lot of time, so we can run this. The original Bi Strong. No, them can't stop chat about now this and now that. Yeah. Paul says it doesn't matter anyways. Jamaica to the world. Original Bi Strong. Jamaica 1-2. Wayne has some comments for other people that are not currently on the channel, so I don't really know what to say there. Robert, level for the relays. Sherwood says that man was panicking. That man was nervous. LOL. Oblique said, I'm the captain now. Certainly his ship. He's charting the course. It's probably a nice little paycheck there from Adidas. Can we get the oblique spikes? Or does he need an Olympic title for that? It's a lovely night, guys. Lovely night. Shout out to Melissa Jefferson Wood and Tina Clayton on top of the world. Correct me if I'm wrong. She has to be the youngest world champion medalist, right? Maybe by days or years. I don't know. I didn't look that up. But correct me there. Alfred on the podium, St. Lucia getting another medal. So 2 Caribbean women there. Melissa Jefferson Wooden from Georgetown, South Carolina. In my early years in university, I was in South Carolina. Didn't really I didn't go to Georgetown, so I don't think it's a place people regularly go. But shout out to Melissa Jefferson Wooden. Championship record 10-6. She's been running fabulous all season. Original laughing at Wayne there. He's making a lot of jokes. Carl FB says if Level refused to train with the squad, then we don't want him. Dynamics is saying my bad. Dynamics, you almost got me in trouble. You're definitely gonna get me in trouble with production here. Because I see your name. Sometimes some people I can just go straight ahead and pop comments up. But you go, before kind of checking them. Now I'm gonna get scolded for not checking the comments. Michelle Kingston says there's a time and a season for everything. Both of the Olympic 100 champions get third. So it is. It also spells that domination in the sport is hard. It's very competitive. People don't generally go back to back all the time. Sometimes you get a back to back cycle. You think about a 2004 to 2005 there for Justin Gatlin. I think Donovan won in 95 in Gothenburg. Then he comes back in 96 and win. So yeah, I'm thinking about championship cycles. Mo Green went on a tear on world championships all the way up to, to Sydney. So now that I'm doing this thing, I'm like, it's not happening regularly. But it's interesting. Carl would have done some too. And then obviously the great man Usain Bolt. Shelley makes these things crazy too. She's outrageous at how often she would have won and retained titles. But retaining titles is not necessarily that easy to do. Gail Divas would have been on that too. Uh, so yeah, just off the top of my head, it's never really good to sometimes do that. Baton training is very important. Yeah, you want to have chemistry there, regardless of whether I think whatever Jamaica national relay team they put out, it should be a very competitive team. I have them surprisingly winning the relay, even without a Brian level. I hope Akeem Blake can give us the kind of start you need. Leg speed is not the be all end all. It certainly helps. It helps if you're in a position where you need someone to run down on an ankle leg if you're in close proximity. But you want smooth passing. There'll be times for that. There's some 200s to there's some running to go here. But now those guys can focus on it, right? Thompson can focus on Akeem Blake can focus alongside Oblique Seville. So it should be interesting. Average Joe saying, "I'm gonna be real. No, I'm not losing the 200." I, don't- I this stage, I'm with you on that. I haven't. I think I have him winning too. I believe. I want to see what Let's Sealy does. Do I have Noah winning or do I have Let's Sealy? I think I have Noah winning. Tobogo got to be saving himself for the 200, according to Virginia, because that false start made no sense. It certainly didn't. It unless it's just like a I don't know. It was just like outrageous, right? That one you can't explain. Yeah. Wayne says, Noah, you look nervous, bro, after the false start because he knew he couldn't anticipate a quick start, which is needed. Don't think anyone anticipates starts. You shouldn't. The blocks are too sensitive for that stuff. All in the game saying, don't see Sharika doing much in the 200 after how she looked in the 100-meter final. Kind of looks that way too. I still think the bronze medal is a bit open. Don't know how to make what to make of it. I had Julian winning the 200 now. Does Melissa go favorite? What about Brittany Brown, Amy Hunt, Dina in terms of medals? Sharika should be there. But Sharika is on the ground. I don't know if she's hurt, so that's also an interesting thing. Virginia says the injury will be his excuse. It's probably from an earlier comment from either me or somebody else. Average Joe says, to be fair, also, let me get that back on screen. I don't know, what am I doing? To be fair, also Noah just did run a season best for his season. Wasn't bad. Oblique and Kishane was just better. That is true. I think when you look at the thing, that's what you want from any athlete to show up in a major championship and perform at their very best. So this would be two championships now that Kishane Thompson comes to it, and his fastest time is not at the championship. Noah Lyles just did his best for the season here. In his heart, he has to go away happy with that. Had he closed his mouth a bit more, he could have more face when you get it to the cameras. But Yesterday was really mounting off in a way that was sometimes over the line, if you want to be honest. I'm here for the fanfare. I'm here for ensuring that people get hyped up, but you know, got smacked around there. Michelle says, after Bolt, the only man to get things done is Noah, or else it would have gone elsewhere. Uh, I feel so happy for Jamaica, but at the same time, I feel sad for Shelley. We should put the Shelley and Fraser thing again in context. There's no sadness here. Shelley and Fraser Price is the GOAT. What she's managed to accomplish is a feat that is unlikely to be matched by athletes in terms of the medal haul. You have to be very young in the business to try and replicate a feat like that. Perhaps the Clayton twins are young if they can start winning now in the not too distant future. But it's difficult. We're talking about a woman that went back to back at the Olympics. At that time, she becomes the third person ever to do it, behind Gail Divas in 92, 96, and Wyoming Tyus from the United States. Then obviously Elaine would have done it as well. She has the full set of medals there in the Olympics. She goes to Rio. The toe still finds a way on the podium. Got outclassed by Elaine Thompson. You'd have to hold your hand up in Tokyo. But she gets a silver medal there. That's 4 Olympics that you're on the podium. That's a lifetime in any sport. Then you put that with the 5 world championship titles. No one's getting that. And she's a 10-6 woman. Those are elite times. She has a lot of sub 10-6, sub 10-7s too. So you put that body of work together, and what it requires for you to hunt down any type of a career like that is that you have to start early and win early and often. So I don't feel any sadness. I only look at it in a positive direction to say that this is a woman that is 38 years of age. If you are 38 years and there are other athletes sitting watching you get into a final, what? How is Shelley making a final? That's the question athletes should be saying. And she's in the final. She didn't come last in the final either. Flowers, we don't have the superlatives. I run out of words. We could encomiums all day to give her all the love that she needs. I'm sure in her heart she wanted to get on the podium, but heart and realities, they don't match. It's the greatest we've ever seen, and so I'm happy about it. I'm getting back to your comments, guys. We're working this as long as we can. Wayne says, need Tobago to give us a bolt. Just I don't know. I mean, I guess you're going back to like when he false started in that World Championships and came back and run something fabulous. Sherwood is on point here. He's like, we can't claim that Noah is back when he wins, and mentions his injuries when he loses, especially given how much he boasts. Sonia, a bunch of Jamaica flags here. Mindset reload. Civil reverses performance in championships. Worst first and best performance. I'm glad he won. Kishane will get better. Civil took 4 championships to get here. And sometimes you have to have patience. We talked about it. We did say if you wanted to make a mistake at a major championships and be able to recover from that mistake, the first round is where you wanted it to have happen, and he did yesterday. And now he's good. Gladys says Amautamasi lost race. Yeah. For those who don't know, someone who talks a lot. Mindset Reload. Tina's the youngest medalist in World Championship 100 meters. Yes, I was right on that. That is a outstanding achievement from the young Jamaican. And best believe, the one thing about those Clayton girls is that they don't like to lose. They have championship heart, championship head. And I just wish them the very best. Someone mentioned earlier that Frano asks for patience. They're not even close to being the correct, or not the correct, but they're not close to being the finished article, if we, for lack of a better word or phrase. It's still not upright enough. I think when Francis looks at them, he sees potential galore. Those 2 women will start to run 10.7s consistently, and hopefully they will dip below. If you want to be in the mix, you have to start running below that to win. Jefferson has set the standard now. This was a season for the ages for her, so we'll see. SB says oblique Seville with a PB when it counts. Gambit says Noah will now surpass Gatlin. Noah will not surpass Gatlin now. Seville ended that possibility, but I'm still a fan of Noah. He will win the 200. Japa says heavy pressure will now be on Lyles not to lose. I guess not. I guess what? I guess you mean not to lose the 200 finals. Tobogo should start playing some mind games here. I don't know if he needs to play some mind games. He just needs to focus on himself and run a race that he knows how to run. He didn't get to run that 100 final, so he should have some fresh legs here. And he should be pushing for a 19.4 or even better if he has that in his legs this year. Original BI Strong had Tina for bronze and she killed it even with silver. Same here. I had her for bronze and she stepped up. Shout out to her. Elias says Shelley won the Olympics when she was 21, but Tina is a few months younger than she was. Yeah, unfortunately, she won't. By the time she gets to an Olympics, it's in a few years' time. So yeah, if you go back, it's just not happening in terms of the ability to just repeat. And then once you get to that level and we start to get older, it's hard to maintain. So that's why we should not talk about Shelley and Fraser Price as if we're talking about mere mortals. Separate and aside from our ability to deliver and run well and do all of that stuff, the fact that she can have a career this long puts her in a space that is the very few, right? You look at a long career. Merlin stuck around for a long time when she stopped running for Jamaica in Sydney. Was Sydney her last Olympics for Jamaica? And then she transitioned. By then she fell off in terms of capabilities, but it's it takes special commitment. It's not ability alone. To last this long, and I'll just emphasize this, what we're talking about here are elite, high competitive people, but high performance doesn't require just getting up and doing it. It requires that elite focus and adaptation understanding what you did 4 years ago may not work for you now, and finding the solutions and implementing it and trusting that it will work. And that's the kind of thing that people who stay long in any type of sport would do. And it's even more remarkable when you consider that she didn't have to do this. That's the thing. There's nothing to prove. It's not like she missed out on something and you'll be like, okay, she hadn't won that medal yet and she's just still chasing something. We've etched up the whole career and laser beamed it on something that you can't remove in terms of how remarkable and outstanding quality of medals and you name it. But to still have that drive to show up when her recovery is not the same as a 21-year-old and when life catches up with you with other responsibilities. So shout out to her. Dynamic says it won't happen again. Yeah. Yeah. Uh Mr. Roos Smith says, take notice about winners of the 100-meter final had fluid movements. They are more relaxed in their top end ease and speed. No, yeah, it's just a kind of relaxation there. It's how you maintain, how you just flow through the deceleration phase. So we'll see. Sherwood says, let's live in the moment. Relay 200 will come today. We have a gold medal in the men's 100 meters. Years ago, we were suffering. We were down bad. It's true. It's back. Not only it's back in the context of just one person on the podium, but going 1-2 is a massive achievement. When the women don't do well, we have silver medals. Like that's how you look at it, right? Because they are always finding a way, right? And pushing multiple people on the podium. And you never worry about the state of the women sprinting because there's something in the water, right? That there's nothing in the water, but obviously. Uh I'm pleased. You have to like the core group here. I think a Blake himself, to go back to Akeem, there's more work that can be done to get him into a championship. I'm not sure if he'll ever be an athlete that will be competitive for global medals. But when you look at him, you say there's an athlete that should be in global finals. So you want to see that. You want to see what the likes of a Bouagie and Krumah, can he break through? Well, we'll talk about the future there, but it's good to see here. All in the game. Only both Lewis and Green has ever gone back to back, back to back to back to back. Yeah, for sure. So there's very elite places there. Yeah, I did catch that too. Simba Oblique was saying put some respect on his name. Sonia says Lyle's head game on Seville backfired. It did, didn't it? Uh, SP says Oblique, the new world boss. Whatever that means, but I get it. Average Joe, USA relays doesn't look good. Lindsay struggled. Tamar is injured. Gonna need somebody to step up. Yeah, we'll get to relays in a few days. I'm sure they'll be fine. Ferdinand Van Zyl, level will add another medal for Jamaica. I know you're gung ho on him getting in a medal. It would be such an outstanding achievement if Brian Lavelle could get on the podium. I wouldn't be shocked. I'm a bit surprised if it happens this early, but I would love it. I really want to speak that into existence, which we can't do, but I want to be on record to say that. All in the game, Tobago will take now a soul in the 200 after that false start. Imagine that if that were to happen. I'm not putting it past Let's see. Noah's won on what? In Monaco, beat him again in the Diamond League final. Let's see. Brian Wellman said they said it was 5 athletes that could win the 5 championships in a row now. Shot put, men's pole vault. Yeah, so Mondo Duplantis, you anticipate, obviously, Ryan Krauser popped up with what can only be a throw for the generations. Krauser is just outstanding. I took more heart from his interview where he said there were questions about whether he would have a functioning elbow. Forget track and field. And would my elbow even work so I could live the rest of my life? And the guy comes out and pops out a big throw. So big up to him there. Uh, I anticipate that Mondo will win. We'll see. It's not it's a surprise if he doesn't win. Yeah. Afro says wasn't clear if it wasn't clear enough, Noah is winning the 200, so you have it there. Uh, Sonia says no one had Sharika to be in the 100 final. She will represent in the 200. All in the game. Yeah, that's what I mean about Sharika. How she looked on the ground afterwards. Okay, so that was my earlier comment. I'm getting really slowly going through this, but we're still pushing through on all of these things, guys. Appreciate the stuff coming through the chat. Wendigo says Kenny B got absolutely left in the blocks. At this stage, we need to start questioning Kung Fu Kenny, especially there. It's not delivering there, but we'll see. Afro says boat watching the world championship reminds me of Maradona watching the World Cup. Yeah, the great Diego. Still probably the best player I don't know. It's hard to do. We shouldn't compare soccer and Euro right now, but Diego for me. All in the game says I think Kenny is still in the blocks. Dynamic says Shelly making the final was the gold medal. We got to see her run in a final one last time. Brian says Shelly Ann has 5 world championship titles. She does. Big time performer there. Carol is harsh today. I think Kung Fu Kenny will beat Wheelchair Lance in the 200. Yeah. Barry said, "Does anyone has the answer as to how to fix Kishane's last 20?" I think Frano has the answer. It's just that he has to execute it. But Kishane said something in an earlier interview that was interesting, and I kept thinking about it. That it made me reflect on whether or not he himself was tackling the problem the right way. So in response to the deceleration, so right, you get up to top end speed, you're trying to maintain that for a couple as best as you can and slow down as slowly as possible. Intense relaxation, a lot of that over distance work they do contributes to that stuff, to you maintaining that. But a lot of that tends to be also how you properly execute yourself there, trying to stay relaxed, your face, the arms, don't bring, where you bring it, and just cruise through and allow the process to work. Some of that's a lot psychological and mental to put that in practice. But then he did say something about, but if I'm faster than everybody else, we don't have to worry about that part. That is true. So if you can run 10.6, if you can run 9.58 like you saying, and you're quicker than everybody else, then you can do things. But that only works if you are able to execute that fast race when it matters the most. And so to stray away from working on that phase seems, it would appear a misstep. I'm not saying it is. We don't know what they're doing. But it could appear that way. There's a few 150-meter stuff that's always on the track. Get him to run those. If you wanna see it happen, run some 200. If running the curve is a challenge, then find the 150 on the straight and do a few of those, and see what happens. Yeah. Wayne says, "Don't feel sad for Shelley. She'll always be respected. Big, I guess, big up to Tina or, or big to Tina for Jamaica, and congratulations to Melissa for her undefeated season." Yes, started off at a Grand Slam in fine fashion and closes the show on a warm night in Tokyo with a championship record and a gold medal around her neck. Wonga is not happy with the starter holding them in the blocks. Sherwood says, "Guy Shelley went out in the final of the World Championships. Few athletes go to that, and not almost 39 years old. I know, and I guess no, you meant now almost 39 years old. Yeah, Shelley and Fraser Price, sprint goat. Brian is saying that. Yeah, we 100% agree. I wish I had better music here, but there's no other way but to give Shelley everything, you know, working. But she's the very best. I think she goes out the way she wanted to. Let's see where I am on the comments. I saw Brian in the house too. Zima says Bolt didn't fly all that way to Tokyo not to see Jamaica not win. Okay. Afro says Lever isn't going to medal. It's going to be Lyles, Bednarak, and Tobago. Rick says you had to be blind not to see Civil was always faster and better. Hey, Eric, you can say it now. Original says world champion of what? Zip it, the 100 meters. Yeah, that's the line. Brian says Melissa only got away from Tina after 60, but Tina was right there. She needs to build endurance. I don't have any comment. I get what you're saying. I think they will figure that out. Tina Clayton, young, they'll work on it. You get this medal and you say the next one I'm getting is a gold. That's how she will probably think about it as motivation. Track and field super fan says Shelley handing over to capable hands of Tina. Tina is a champion performer. Tina, I guess remember that name. Yeah, don't count out her sister too, right? Our sister is will be there too. I mean, now she's quicker than her sister, but I'm sure both of them are probably in similar shape. Afro says Noah already surpassed Gatlin. Carl says such good contingent of Jamaicans in Japan. Was nice to see them in the colors and the flag, and also they had cutouts of Shelley and Fraser Price as well. That was good to see. There's pans of that too. Afro says Noah already surpassed Gatlin last year. Track and field superfan says Lies will lose to arrested race ready level. I don't know. We'll see. We'll see. Track and field superfan says Frana Project 10-6 is alive and well for the twins. Tina managed that semifinal like a boss lady. Carl says, no, I'm taking you off the channel now, Carl. Just joking. Arsenal is the club to support in the EPL, by the way. My wife agrees with that. She's an Arsenal fan. I think many years ago, my wife went to Highbury, got tickets from Patrick De Beer's family. It was kind of a weird situation, but I don't think she appreciates me telling that story. Christina 1234. Didn't I tell you about Seville winning? Even with what happened yesterday. You certainly did, Christina. Robert says the Gabby Thomas comments about coaches have me wondering. We can opine on that on another day. I think we did talk about something. We did unpack that on a couple lives ago or few lives. It's It's much more complicated than how she's stating it, but we'll talk. We can. I don't want to get into that today. Sherwood 991. Shelley wanted to go out on her terms. Most people don't get to retire after making the finals at a major championships. Making the final was in itself a big deal for her. Yeah, well said. Mindset reload. I don't mind what Noah said. Civil kicked out his teeth. Love that. Well done, Tina. I think Allison's still the youngest in the 200. You might be right. I think you're right on that. Yeah. Mr. Roo says, I'm off and now I'm out of. Do it again, Noah. Do it again. Margaret is keeping up. I don't even know what's going on, but she says we are closing in 100 likes. Come on. Yeah. Do as Margaret says. Like Afro, that's harsh. Kenny on Fraud Watch. Come on. Yeah. It's probably a little bit hard. It's a harsh year on Kishane, though. I don't know if we can say that Afro for Kishane. It goes back to back finals and picks up a silver medal. I guess, yeah, you'll say he goes into the championship with faster times, but it's a bit harsh, you know. We can unpack that another day. You know. Driver underscore 26 says Kenny and Toboga dominating the 200. See, Juju said she felt her hamstring in an interview. That's tough. That's tough. Hopefully, it won't put her out of the 200. But if you feel the hamstring is probably unlikely, you can continue. Yeah. Kenny beat Kenny today, driver 26 says. Van Lee, how are you doing? Greetings from Florida. Praying the media doesn't attach Asafa 2.0 to Kishane wouldn't be prudent, seen so much of both spirit in Seville and Asafa spirit in Kishane Goja. My God. Yeah, the guy is he's two silver medals back to back, right? He's on the podium, right? I know he wants to win. Tonight is I don't want to unpack. I don't think today's the day to unpack that. To be honest with you, I think he they'll work that out. No, you're trying to give trouble today, Van. If you attach a polygraph test to Janelle, who do you think she cheers for? Her heart of hearts. You gotta get that polygraph test going. I don't know. Afro, where do you think Tobogo would have placed? I still think he would be out of the medal positions. I haven't seen it. I don't like how Letzili was executing his races. He was popping up too much. He wasn't lifting, but he looked somewhat comfortable in the semifinal. That gave me hope that he could probably run to be competitive in the for the bronze. But I still had firmly set my sights on Lyles still getting on the podium. The only other person that I thought with the real ability to do that to would have been Kung Fu Kenny, but I already written him off saying that I don't think he would have gotten on the podium because I think Lyles lives rent free in his head. So until he can get that out, but the podium happened the way I thought in terms of the athletes that got on it, but 1, 2 just flipped around. Thank you too. Have a good day. I probably should get off too because I want to go watch some football and do some other stuff too. Trackspan says Juju should have given. What? I'm not sure I understand that. The original Tina put herself and her sister on the world watch, even though the world already knew their names. Yeah, I mean they've been around for a while. If you follow this, most people follow the sport. Obviously, we don't take much stock into junior when you get to this level, but we build it back in when you see athletes who really are successful as junior athletes can transition into the senior stage, and she's done that now. Try. I don't know. We no no information on what Seville will be doing here. I'm sure he's fine. He's on top of the world right now. We'll see. Here, Brian Level, the next spoiler. Original says back to back silver already ahead of Asafa medal wise for sure. I'm not sure. I think athletes should basically run blindly, but that doesn't really happen, Van. So we don't know. Dynamics, when are you back on the stream doing tonight? Enjoy the soccer. I'm going to take a nap. I'm not 100% sure if I'm back tonight. I would like to. I'll try to see if I can. Then starting tomorrow, I'm probably only doing recaps in the evening because it's going to be a chat. Definitely tomorrow I can. Gotta teach a bunch of classes tomorrow, and so I have to get up and be fresh for that. And yeah, I'll try to come for the. I'll probably do a recap for the session tomorrow in the evening. So I'll be coming live in the evening for sure. I don't know if I'll be able to do any watch alongs for evening sessions for the rest of the week until we get back to the weekend again. But I'll be around. I'll see. I'll just put notifications out. The best way to know if I'm coming live is to always subscribe. Everyone, hit the notification bell. That way, you know when we put out shows. Yeah. Wayne says Julian's bronze medal, biggest surprise. Yeah, that is the biggest surprise I would say. But there was a comment here saying that she felt something in her hamstring, so that could be uh, the reason for that. But who knows? Because you had to think Julian was in. We know she was in great shape coming through again, and she run a bunch of 10-7s into headwinds as well, which should suggest that she's in good good shape. But it wasn't to be. But she still got on the podium, and so St. Lucia should be happy that the Olympic champion has delivered a world championship medal for them. They might be slightly disappointed, but we'll see. Yeah. Robert says he has a 2-1 for United prediction. I'll take that all day. All right, Sonny, she's handed out at church. Are you watching from church? All right, Japan loves Jamaica. Can't say the same for Paris. Anyway, yeah. All right, guys, I'm going to call it. I know I've been up early and you guys have been up too. We will be back whenever we'll be back. Enjoy the rest of your day and have a good Sunday. And congratulations again to Melissa Jefferson Wooden, Tina Clayton, Julian Alfred, certainly to Oblique Seville, Kishane Thompson, and Noah Elias for getting back on the podium. Valerie Almond today, big performance from her. Likewise for Tara Davis Woodall. I'll see you guys later. Bye bye.